One-dimensional array is very simple. You need to mention simple list. In two-dimensional array, what you are doing, you are putting list inside the list. So you can see this is nothing but an one-dimensional array. So yeah, let me you empty dot end. So if you can see that this is array 2D, my bad. So you can see that this is one dimension array. Now, if you want to make it 2-dimension, you just need to mention nested list inside this list. Okay, the list inside this list. For example, if you mention this, let me take it example here and show you. Yeah, if you mention list inside a list, I mean to say nested list. And now check what is the dimension of it. You can see that it is 2-dimension. Why? Because you are mentioning data inside a list inside another list. So that is nothing but nested list. So that is how we are going to access. So yesterday, if you remember in the class, please review or please go to yesterday's class, that which we discussed how we are going to access n-dimensional arrays like 2 dimensions and 3 dimensions and 1 dimensions. How we are going to access it through indices and how we are going to uh, access it through the indices. And for one-dimensional array, you can simply access it through a index position, and for the 2-dimensional array, you can access it using the index position using 2 indices. For 3-dimensional array, you can access it using index position of 3 indices. So that is how it is. And now how are those indices represented? That will be represented by within the list and nested lists. So for one-dimensional array, it is a single list. For 2-dimensional array, list inside the list, and 3-dimensional array, list inside the list. We are going to explain this 2D array with the help of an example. Okay, 2D array with help of example. So let's say, Ramanji, you understand how to create 2D array at least now, right? So can you tell me how to create this 2D array first of all?
NP array.
NP dot
NP dot array.
Okay.
Bracket.
Okay.
List.
Yes, list.
Inside list, another list.
Yes. Now inside this list, we can create any number of elements, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say I have one nested list. How many nested list can we put inside this? Ramanji, is there any limit? Is there any limit?
No. Actually,
there is no limit, right?
Yeah.
There won't be any limit. You can put any number of elements. So let's say I have given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's say I'll give me 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now, Ramanji, tell me what is this dimension of this array? And how can I check the dimensions of this array first of all?
Array dot D
Array dot
dim. DIM.
N dim.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if we want to check the shape, let me explain you the shape. How can you check that shape? Array 2D dot S. You can click S and you can get the shape here. Okay. Now, let's run it again. Now, what do you mean by 3, 4 here? It says that there are 3 rows here. Okay, Ramanji, there are 3 rows. Now, what are 3 rows here? This is the first row. Okay. This is the second row. This is the third row. This is the first row. This is the second row. And this is the third row. The first thing always mentions about rows. Okay. The second thing mentions about columns in the 2-dimensional array. Remember, it is in the 2-dimensional array. Whenever you are looking into 2-dimensional array, we discussed yesterday itself in our introductory session that it is nothing but tabular structure. It is a structured data, organized data in rows and columns, right? So that rows and columns, how are you going to understand that it is a row, it is a column? Whatever it is mentioned inside the nested list, okay? That should be taken first, and the count of that, or how many nested lists are there inside this bigger list, that will be considered as rows. Okay, how many rows are there here?
3
rows. Now let's say, for example purpose, 1, 6, 3. Let's now tell me how many rows will be there?
4 rows. 4 rows, 4 columns.
Yes. Now tell me what are rows, what are columns here? So
1,
for
2,
example, Yeah,
Yeah.
go on, Ramanji, go on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are
This
rows.
is
5,
what is
6.
this? What is this thing? What do you
That
call
is
this specific?
that is row.
Yes. Which
First
row?
row,
Which row?
first row,
Yes. What is this thing, Ramanji?
and second row,
Second row. This is
third row,
third row, and this
fourth
is
row.
fourth row.
Yeah.
Now, you understand rows, right? How you
Yeah.
can understand these rows? You can simply say that whatever we mentioned inside this nested list, those are nothing but rows. And in 2D array, there are two things mentioned, rows. The first thing is always rows, second thing is always columns. But if you check the 3D, the complete picture is going to be changed here. Understand?
Okay.
Okay, there are three different things. Now we don't want to go deep into it. I'll explain it again. But just for the time being, I was saying the 2D array can be represented using two indices. Okay, see. Sorry. Look at this. 2D array is represented using two indices. This is first indices, second indices. What is the first indices? It is about rows. The second thing is about, come on, tell me,
Columns.
columns. Now, what do you mean by this? This is nothing but a simple row. Now, how are you going to check the columns? Tell me.
1, 1, 5, 9, 1.
Yes, the columns are nothing but in each and every row, how many elements are present? Each and every element can be described as an element within the column. So those columns, how you are checking? The number of elements, how many are there here? 4 elements. So 4 columns will be present, and that should be same across all the things now here. Within our example, we have 4 columns and 4 rows, right? For example,
Yes.
Ramanji, tell me if I want to check 3 cross 4 matrix. I mean 3 rows and 4 columns I want.
3
I
rows,
want,
4
I want,
columns.
yeah, I want 3 rows and 4 columns. Tell me how am I going to do that?
And you want to remove the anything.
No, you can say whatever example you want. You can take it and tell me. I want just 3 rows and 3 rows and 4 columns. Now tell me what is the first row here?
1, 2,
This
3,
thing,
4,
right? Second row, third row,
5, 6, 7. Yeah.
fourth row. You can remove any
Yes.
of the row, right? Simply.
Yes.
You can remove any of the row. Remove any of the row. No. If you check this dot shape, what do you think it is going to be, Ramanji?
3, 3, 4.
Yes, because
3
3
rows,
rows and
4.
4 columns, because we have
Yeah.
removed one. Now, if I want to check 4 rows, 3 columns, tell me.
You remove the each list in one element.
4 rows, 3 columns. Remember again, 4 rows, 3 columns, 4 rows.
And
Tell
you
me.
add one list.
Let's say I'll be adding one list here, Ramanji. 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay.
And remove
Tell
one
me.
element in each list.
Yes. Yes. Array 2D dot n dimensions. So what is the dimension? First of all, tell me here. Do you think the dimensions will change, Ramanji?
No, no.
Why?
It's two dimensional. It's
So
not
how
change.
are you saying that it is two dimension? Why it is not changing? Because you need to understand that you are mentioning everything inside another list. Okay,
Yeah.
list inside the list. So that is how it is going to calculate. This is one dimension and this is the second dimensions. And from that it is going to understand, okay, these are the rows. First row, second row, third row and fourth row. And for each and every rows there are 3 elements. So if there are 3 elements consistently across all the rows here, then I can say that there are how many columns? 3 columns, right? Array dot. How can you check that how many columns and rows are there? Tell me. Shape. Okay. See, 4 cross 3, 4 rows and 3 columns. Are you clear? Any doubt now till now?
Yeah. 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 I'm clear.